Okay, I've been hearing through the grapevine. I don't go on any of the forums. I have my own little blog. I put pictures and stuff I see around, and I put it up for people. And what I get, I put up there. And mostly I stay here on YouTube so I can get the information out fast enough. Um, if they are going to have a Greek gods maze, what I've been hearing, like a Greek maze of goddesses and gods and all that, wouldn't that have been nice in the Poseidon's Adventure, the Poseidon's Fury walkthrough show? Wouldn't that be something if they could just maybe what they did for the cavern? I think it was the Storyteller. I forget years. I know it was the Storyteller, and they had it was a pretty good maze. I kind of enjoyed it. They made that strobe light, that big huge bright light, go on and off, on and off. When one part, you get to walk through the water vortex. That was awesome. But why don't they have that as a maze inside there for Halloween Horror Nights? It's already the facade. All you need is the facade. You just have to rip up the poles and, that's all they need. Period. That is all they need. Maybe they're not doing it because it was kind of a short. It was kind of a short maze, really. It was basically through the water effect, up one level, down one level, back up one level, and back down a level, and out that door. I don't think they could have done anything else. Actually, I think they could do something with that. I really think they could have done something with that, but that's just me. I was not part of that maze development. I had other things to. I started right after Storyteller. I started at that one with a cracked face. I called him Crack-Faced Eddie. I started doing that then, but I also did others. I just did so much in life, I just don't remember in my head. But, yeah, the facade's already there. The facade is already there. All they need to do is staff it and get the maze built inside there. That would have been nice. I don't know why, they had that picture of their disaster. It's not. The theming of that is really not. It should have been in a soundstage. Or a soundstage. Or on that Poseidon's Adventure, Poseidon's Fury. Yeah, actually, Poseidon's Adventure. I said Poseidon, right. I'm not a man who gets the names correct. Even when I worked there and helped, with the creative department a little, I was really not good with a lot of names. I just did what I had to do, and I was very passionate. It was Poseidon's Fury, and then it became Poseidon's Adventure. So, actually, it's Poseidon's Fury. That's what it is. But I'm thinking about something else. There also is another ride, a carnival ride called Poseidon's Fury. It's a big swinging ship. I'm playing with a fork. But that would actually be pretty cool. They already have the design for that. They just need to work on it. Let's see. I can't wait for the thing to get back up. I want to see where all these mazes are. Can't wait for them to get to this. Everyone gets all excited for street construction. It's street construction. They really can't do that much. Last year they did some pretty good. I liked containment. Containment was a good area. It had those big foam coming down and those big, archways. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was funny. I also liked Chainsaw Massacre and the Hollywood streets. Lights, Camera, Action. That's what it was. Lights, Camera, Action. That was a good little scene. I loved going through that scene. That was the best. And the drive-through was also good. Really, Containment I did like. A lot of people didn't like Containment for some apparent reason. I just liked listening to the guy just speak. That guy was funny. That's standing out there. He's like, everybody, watch out. It's great. They need more of those type of. They need more of those type of people in the scare zone because it's more entertaining than, scary. And, I like scary, but I also like to be entertained too. I like to have a good chuckle once in a while, and it's also pretty cool, that sick humor the guy had. It was perfect, I don't. A lot of people said that was a fill-in, which technically it was a fill-in. It was they just went to a local rental shop and got those, canopies, and then, they had from the Treek and Froon from IOA, the first ever in IOA caretaker. They had the Treek and Froon, the soap machine, the bubble machine, and they just put that in there, and the foam machine. Foam is very difficult, okay? It can get on the ground and people can slip, and that's a lot of lawsuits on their hands. That's why they don't use it that much at certain points. Like that Treek and Froon, like that the whole area was covered in foam. And what happened was people fell and hurt themselves and sued Universal, the IOA. A lot of people fell. It's not nice on the shoes, and it's that would be awesome if they put it in the maze, that foam machine to just foam up a whole room. They did that. I think it was Creatures in the King Kong attraction, and King Kong Confrontation. When they opened the bottom and you walked, it was like kind of like a nice nightclub at the same time. And they had the foam you had to walk through. That was awesome. I enjoyed that. The 3D maze was also pretty good. The first ever 3D maze. That was on the side streets in New York, near the Chicago area. That was a nice 3D maze. I enjoyed it. It's good and bad at the same time, the 3D maze. Really, it was good and bad. It took a long time to get the glasses, handing out the glasses. That tied up the line a little. But most of them were those paper glasses, and they were strung around all around the outside and inside the maze, and people just threw it, they don't keep the thing, and they threw it out, and it became a very costly thing for them. You look at it, you gotta get those 3D glasses, and, they're not free. They have to purchase them from a vendor, and, you get 60, 70,000 people in there, and if it's $1 a piece, that's 70 grand, but that's 70 grand just on glasses, and then you have to pay for the actors, you gotta pay for the electricity, you gotta pay for everything else. So, that's an unneeded expense. That 3D effect really didn't. It did some stuff, but it didn't really do a whole lot. It really didn't do a whole lot what they were expecting to do. That fun. They tried it in the first one. It was awesome when the guy jumped over the wall. That was great. But they really didn't do it that much. I'm going to make a. Actually, this is 15 minutes. I thought it was always 10 minutes, but now it's 15. The vampire from Blade. I think that was during Bloody Mary. That was also pretty cool. In the beginning, it was very sexy. There were, women dancing in the nightclub. It was all sexy. And people were actually holding up the line just watching those girls dance. And so they changed their makeup into more of a Castle Vampire type of makeup. And, with the prosthetics. And they just fogged the hell out of them in a club. And they just kept on like they wanted to kill you then. So, I think they had to change the theming in the beginning because, watching all those sexy dancers. So, they made a mistake on that one. They kind of fixed it towards the end of the event. But it was also a good. I kind of liked the maze. The ending with that guy with the crazy dude. But that is about it. That's how much. There's more stuff. I like, that one in Poseidon's Poseidon's Fury, the helmet. That was awesome, pretty cool. But the problem is, people were walking off with that helmet. I saw a lot of people just walk off with that helmet, and I saw a attendant just run. They just darted to try to get that thing off of them. They just ran and darted. That was the only light of the maze. That was awesome. and there was a point there it just flickered on and off, on and off. That was awesome. But that was people, the attendants kept on chasing the guests because they needed to get that helmet back. There was only like maybe 10, 50, 30 of them in there, and people were just taking them. People were just walking out with that on their head, just, thank you for the souvenir. I think they go, no, you gotta give that back. There were some people just darted right out of that maze to keep that thing on their head, but the attendant just, those attendants were pretty quick that year. I don't know who was running it, but those attendants were really fast on their feet. I loved it. Because they had to be, because those were expensive little helmets. See, the problem is with that, is there's certain things you just don't give a guest. You just don't give a guest, because they're going to take it if it's worth money. Those helmets did cost a lot of money, alright? Those helmets were very expensive. And you're putting that on a guest's head. You must have not tight, but you must have a good eye making sure they don't walk off with that, because if they only had 30 of them, last time I checked they had 30, when I was, that's what I've been told, but, they could add more, I don't know. They had 30 of them, and, there's more, like, if you get, like, 5,000 people in there, or 6,000 people in there a night, there's a lot more, but when you get 6,000 people in there in a night, that 30 helmets is kind of like, you got to trust 3,000 to 6,000 people coming in. There's more people going in there. You got to trust them, and really you can't trust these guests. I see people pocket keychains and everything in these things, and it's a horrible thing that they're doing it, but oh well, Universal's very cutthroat when it comes to budget and, money, you can get away with certain things, like, you can see, like, they'll give you a free parking voucher or something, but when you ask for the full refund of the ticket price, they refuse to even relinquish that. And if you, like, I know a friend who got super mad and did a chargeback against them, and they actually took him to court, actually. They took him to court for theft of service. So they're pretty they stick on what, other things like food and drinks, they'll give you a refund on if it's not a good experience. They'll give you your money back. But in the gate price, they will never give your money back. Of course, because that's their bread and butter. Their gate price is their bread and butter. That's one of their profit. That's one of their ways they have to pay for their electric, water, everything. And, people say the food and drink, yes, but, a lot of people just carry bottled water with them, and they get real pissed when they see, you reuse those bottles. They get real angry. They may say they like recycling, but if they see a guest with a bottle in their back pocket and they refuse, they don't buy any more water, they go to the fountains, they get pissed. So they get pissed when you're trying to recycle a bottle of water, basically, for the park that day, but they're hypocrites, and and on the other hand, they want to make a sale on the bottled water. So they're kind of hypocrites. They want you to save the environment, they want you to recycle and buy. Well, technically, it's much easier and more cost-effective and better for the environment if you reuse that bottle. And it always tastes like at the park. It always tastes the water. I always said they dumped out all the Zephyr Hills water and they refilled it back up in a sink and then resealed it. I really think they do that. But that's pretty much about it. They probably don't do that, but I worked there. I was not the craft area. I was in the creative area. So then I went to Disney, and then after Disney, I went back to Universal, and then they both got rid of me due to the reason of the down economy. They got rid of a lot of people. The down economy, man. This Harry Potter's bringing the tourism back up, but they're really very rarely hiring people due to the new Obama taxes. More stuff to come and more information, what I think.